So what I'd like to do is go over some of the misconceptions that are out there, what you should avoid and what you should consider if you want to get started. And one of the biggest questions I'm always asked is, do you need a lot of money to start? Now, the answer to that is it depends. Now, the reason being what that means is it depends is if your objective is to buy property to begin, at some point you will need your money to do this. And there is strategies where you can start with no money and then build into a position where you can buy property. Now, that's called, there's an acronym called Other People's Money, which is you will, if you go out and you learn the ropes of what a basic strategy of how to generate income or what would be the right properties to buy, you can join up or piggyback with people, something called a joint venture, where you join up together. They have no experience but money. You have some knowledge and you're going to exchange that for, that's going to be your share. You're going to bring the knowledge and they're going to bring the money. And then what happens, you come together and you are going to do a joint venture. Another way you can do it is you can offer like services. So you could offer a management service or a project management service or something of that nature where you can say, look, I'm in the industry, I know what to do, I know what I'm doing, and I can help you along this way to then generate some income or generate the returns or results that you're looking for. That then allows you to get a slice of the action, so to speak, meaning that you can then get a management fee or you can charge a fee that will allow you to start to develop your pot. So what happens is your pot goes from zero and you're looking to expand and grow that pot. Now, the idea with that is you would get to the pot to the extent where you would be able to do what I explained earlier, which is you have enough in the pot as a deposit to then go and buy your own property. So in theory, you can start with absolutely nothing. And the other thing you could do is if you have someone that does have money and they have no experience, maybe they're particularly good at their own job or their own whatever they're good at, whether it's corporate life or whether it's business, and maybe they just don't have the time or inclination to learn about property. You could say, look, why don't we join forces together? You've got the money, I've got the knowledge and experience, and I'll go and do the work. I'll be your boots on the ground. And that's another way that you could do it. And you could then start to develop your own portfolio. So you can definitely start with no money. And I'm going to cover off some of the other strategies that you can do. So the other strategies that you can do, and again, I would make sure that you have your numbers right. I wouldn't say rush into it, but I would also say consider it wisely, because when done well, it's extremely useful. When done poorly, it can leave you in a bit of a mess. And I think this is one of the things I see that maybe people don't explain well enough to people that are beginning, because I'm a big fan of, if I'm mentoring someone or taking them through something, I like to hold their hand so that they know that they're getting the right thing done. And the reason being is, because I've got years of experience and I've done this pretty much my entire adult life, I know exactly what to look for. I know what to avoid. I know it's a good deal. I know it's a bad deal. I know how to spot things on home reports and how to spot things in pictures and at viewings. I know what to steer clear of. I know what's something that can look terrible and it's not as bad as it may seem, and everything in between. And that's because I've got decades of experience doing it. So if you don't have decades of experience doing it, then you need to just be patient, is what I would say, because what you want to do is give yourself the best chance to get the right deal at the right time. Because bear in mind, you're wanting a big pension pot, you're wanting cash flow so it can give you freedom and it can stabilise your income streams and give you security and make you feel good. Because one of the things that changes in a lot of people when I see them buy their first investment is that feeling that they have another source of income might not change dramatically their income overall in terms of a number, but the fact that they have another income stream makes a massive difference. I've helped, hundreds of people get into property and become extremely successful because I stack the chips in their favour, getting them the right type of deals with the right sort of structures, with the right strategy, and then using their resources wisely. And then the idea is that you can help them through that process, because building a portfolio for someone with expertise is going to be significantly more powerful than you trying to build your own portfolio and making the mistakes and all the things that I did. So if you leverage someone else's experience, in my experience, I've got 20 plus years of experience, so I know all the things that can go wrong. So I'm going to steer you clear of them. And, that's the idea of why people come to myself to say, look, here's what I'm looking to do. Here's the objective. Now, here's a classic case of where something could go wrong. So here's two property structures. You say your goal is you want to replace your income. You want to bring in £5,000 a month passively, and you've saved up some money, or you've got some savings, and you want to deploy them. Now, imagine imagine you said to me, look, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to refurbish it, and then I'm going to sell it on for a bit of a profit, hopefully. That's called a flip. So when you flip the house, the idea is you're buying it, you're getting it cheap, you're doing some work, and you're selling it on for more than what you paid for it, including your expenses. And the idea is that you'll end up with a bigger pot than what you started with. Now that in itself sounds good, because you're like, well, who wouldn't want a bigger pot? Well, that's great. But if your objective is to build cash flow, this particular strategy, which everyone wants to do at the start, doesn't fit. So it's about understanding where your criteria is, what it is that you want, how you want to do it, how you're going to play it out. Understanding that is a big, big part of the process. So you want to get your hands on the right sort of information and the right strategy to make sure that you can get the best result for yourself. And meaning that if you've done a flip, you bought it, you sold it, it was worth more money. Yeah, you'd have more money, but you actually don't have any more cash flow. So you've expanded your pot, great, but you've not expanded your cash flow. So you're actually no closer to your objective. It is champagne problems, because now you have a bigger pot to go shopping. But what I'm saying is, make sure you've got the right strategy for the result that you're looking for.